to barbecue, rump steak. It's got so much flavour, it's so good on a barbecue, and personally I like to get them from either a butcher or from the butcher's counter in the supermarket. I like to get them to cut it for me. Normally it's about 1.5 inches thick, so I've got these bad boys from your local good butcher. We let these rest at room temperature. You don't want them straight out the fridge, you're going to let the meat relax, and we're going to just put a bit of a dry rub on them. Whatever dry rub you like, or don't put anything on at all if you don't like anything on your steak, but I personally like the dry rub on them. And what we're going to do with this dry rub is just going to let that soak in until you see like a glossed look. We're going to let it sweat into the meat, and that's when you're ready to go. So we're just going to get this prepped and get the barbecue to a really high heat, because that's what you want to cook steak at. You don't want it at a moderate or low heat, you want it at a really high heat, and that's just sears the flavours right in there. And by it being a thick steak as well, it really does help keep that flavour in. Thin steaks doesn't typically always work too well, personally, my experience, but certainly if you've got a thicker steak, that goes a long way. Alright, our steaks are ready to go. As you have a look at them, they've got a nice little bit of a wet look on them, so that dry rub's really soaked in. Got to where we want it to go. Fire's nice and hot, and we are going to leave this on for a couple of minutes. Now, it all depends on how you like your steak. Some people like them well done. Well, not really friends much with those people, but we want our steak medium to medium rare. We're not going to go mad with it. We're not going to leave it on for ages. For 28-day aged steak, after about a minute or two, you'll start seeing the blood coming to the top. That means it's good to turn. But if you get a steak straight from the shelf and it's not one of those steaks, it'll be quite bloody anyway. So just don't confuse the two of those, because that's the aged steak's a lot more dry blood-wise. So you want to come in here and have a look. That heat's just right. And we're not going to mess around with it. We're not going to cock about. We're just going to leave it there for a bit. The fire do the work. Right, steak's about ready to turn. We're getting a bit of blood just getting up the top part here, so I'm quite happy with that. That's a little indicator that we want to give it a bit of a flip. Looking good. We don't have to turn that again, that side, and we're going to just let it rest once we've done. So just let it relax now. Give it another 3 or 4 minutes. Okay, the steak's been on. Fire's really good heat, so I'm quite happy with that. And as you can see at the top here, sweated right through. That's just showing you still got a lot of moisture in there, which is fantastic. That's what exactly we want. So I'm going to put this on our resting tray, and we're going to leave it rest for about 5 or 10 minutes. And that'll just let the meat cook itself a little bit more, and we'll be perfect. And someone wants a little piece in a hurry. That'll do spot on. Okay, our steaks have rested about 10 minutes, because often we make the mistake of wanting to serve it up as quick as we can because we're rushing, things are going on. Honestly, let it rest for a short while. It does so much more to the meat, and yeah, you'll be able to tell the difference. So let's see what we can do. That's perfect. That's exactly how we want it. Some people want theirs a lot more rarer than that. When you've got young kids and family, they freak out when they see a bit too much blood, but this for us is fine. It's a good piece of steak, to be fair. There you go. Cheers, folks.